Will Cade Cunningham be the #1 draft pick? This year's NBA draft is just a few months away, and the buzz around several players is currently at an all-time high. In some NBA drafts, the #1 pick is usually so obvious. For example, Anthony Davis was an undisputed #1 pick in 2012, and Zion Williamson enjoyed the same ride in 2019. However, for 2021, this is not the case. At the moment, there are 5 strong contenders for the #1 spot, and this includes Jalen Suggs, Evan Mobley, Jalen Green, Jonathan Kuminga, and Cade Cunningham. Among these 5 players, Cade currently has the highest chances of being the #1 draft pick. And in this video, we'll be exploring all the facts and stats that could make Cade the #1 pick. Welcome to Courtside, your one-stop channel for every piece of buzzing NBA news, rumors, and game analysis. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share this video with your pals. Cade's scouting report. Even if you haven't been following the NBA draft news, there is a huge chance that you have heard of Oklahoma State guard Cade Cunningham. This is because he's been projected as the #1 pick by many analysts in the upcoming 2021 NBA draft. This isn't actually surprising. Cade was ranked 2nd place in ESPN's top 100 for the class of 2020. Cade played 1 season in the NCAA, and in this season, he lived up to the hype. He averaged 20.1 points per game, coupled with 6.2 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1.6 steals per game. He also maintained an efficient shooting splits of 43.8% from the field and was able to achieve 40.3% from the three-point stand. Cade also has a commanding figure. He stands at 6'8" and weighs an astounding 220 pounds. The player of 19 has all the potential to transform him into an NBA star, but what are the specific qualities that could bring him to the NBA franchise? First and foremost, Cade has the right size, weight, and length that could turn him into a strong forward. In addition to this, his skill set is exactly what could make him a jumbo point guard at NBA level. With his size and skill set, Cade is a natural floor general, and he uses this skill to control the pace of every game he's in. He's also very fluid with his hands, meaning he can do almost anything with the ball in his hand. Cade is also an impressive playmaker and shot creator, and he has the ability to be able to read the defense of every team he plays against. With his skill, he's able to set up traps to open up his teammates in the court. When the defense lacks enough pressure, Cade can beat defenders by attacking the rim or pulling off a surprising bounce at the three-point line. These qualities make him a dynamic threat, especially when you remember that his passing is also significantly improved. His shooting ability is also one of a kind. We've consistently seen him make shots from the three-point range and also the mid-range, and we expect to see more of this when he finally makes it to the NBA. Now, let's take a look at his physicality. The player is shown to be a versatile defender due to his build. With such a body, he should be able to guide multiple positions when he joins the league. When it comes to driving down the court to the basket, his huge body can also come as a great advantage. In addition to these, Cade has shown that he can make passes and score points with these drives. When we talk about players who came into the NBA ready, Cunningham is surely going to be one of them. However, just like every other player, Cade has a few weaknesses. As earlier mentioned, Cade is very great with the ball in his hands with an impressive usage rate of 29%, but without the ball, Cade hasn't been especially interesting. There's no doubt that he's a strong offensive player, but how much damage can be done without the ball in his hands? How exactly can he help the team when he doesn't have the ball in his hands? Also, Cade relies heavily on his body size when he drives to the basket in the NCAA. This might not be an entirely great skill to have in the NBA, considering the fact that he would come across bigger defenders who would be quick to cut short his run. What he needs to develop are his skills as a dribbler, and this would most probably make up for what he lacks. Since his speed isn't particularly great as a defender, he would have to learn to be faster so he can keep up with the guards in the NBA. Striking similarities with Luka Doncic. It is quite normal to see potential draft picks being compared to established NBA stars. Several draft picks have been compared to Kawhi Leonard, especially after averaging 5 points in college and standing at 6'8". However, the most popular comparison at the moment is between Luka Doncic, who currently plays for the Dallas Mavericks, and Cade Cunningham, the potential 2021 #1 NBA draft pick. When you compare both players on a surface level, there are several similarities that cannot be overlooked. First of all, Doncic and Cade stand at 6'7" and 6'8" respectively. Cade also weighs 220, while Doncic weighs almost similar 230. Similarly, they are both huge point guards who don't have a unique limping ability or even elite speed. In his only season at Oklahoma State, Cade averaged 20.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. Also, when Doncic was 19, he was with the Dallas Mavericks when he played his rookie NBA season, and he averaged 21.2 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Cade has also seen the similarities, and he said in an interview last year, "Right now I watch a whole bunch of Luka Doncic. I grew up in Dallas, so Dirk Nowitzki was my guy, and now Luka's the new Dallas Mavs guy. So Luka and we have a pretty similar body type." But the similarities these players share go way beyond having a similar body type or game style. In almost every one of Cade's games, you can see so much of Doncic in his offensive style, and this perhaps explains why more teams are looking to have him on their roster. Let's take a look at the breakdown between both players. Playmaking style. Perhaps the most glaring similarity between Cade and Doncic is the way both players navigate the pick and roll. As you might have noticed from Doncic's games, the player typically uses his body to create a shield against the trailing defender and then uses this opportunity to decide who he would make a pass to or if he could take the shot. Similarly, we have seen this style of play from Cade at Oklahoma State, and there's a reason to believe that Cade will utilize this style at the next level because it'll give him a chance to properly utilize his body size and strength. In the same vein, both players are very patient when it comes to pick and roll, and they only play at their own pace. They patiently watch the game to see how things unfold before they make a decision. In addition to this, they've both made one-handed passes in games, passes which made it easy for bigs to score points. These passes similarly displayed deft touch and adequate timing. Third-level passing. In an interview with Colin Ward-Henninger of CBS Sports, Hornets coach James Borrego explained something called the 3 levels of playmaking. In the interview, the coach said that what made elite playmakers different from other players is their ability to be able to read the game and make passes from what he calls the third level. According to the coach, the third level occurs when you're driving toward the basket and you have bigs on either side jumping to block your shot, and you've just a split second to make the right decision. This style of play is commonly seen with Doncic. We see him driving through the court with no particular destination in mind, and then he suddenly fires a pass through an impossible angle to an open shooter. Similarly, this is exactly what makes Cade Cunningham an interesting player and an exciting prospect for scouts. His third-level vision is impressive, and his precision for a player age 19 is quite impeccable. Finishing at the rim. Both are not traditional athletes, but they both finish around the rim at almost the same incredible rate. This is possible because both players are extremely skillful, and they both have a wide array of moves. Currently, Doncic places in the NBA's 76th percentile with 1.286 points per possession around the basket. Cade Cunningham, on the other hand, has averaged 1.333 points per possession around the rim also. He places in the 82nd percentile in the NCAA Division I basketball. Since both players are not so fast, they use hesitations and misdirection to confuse defenders and mess the timeline of these defenders. With their bodies, they use long strides and body control to create impressive play for the bigs. Other players rumored to be in the draft. Besides Cade Cunningham, Davion Mitchell has also caused a major buzz in the NBA. The starting point guard is a contender in the top 10, and this is due to his shooting numbers, defensive toughness, and overall explosiveness. However, skeptics have questioned his age. The player will be 23 before his rookie season begins in the NBA. Another skeptic has also mentioned that the defensive qualities of the player is overrated. Despite these skepticisms, Mitchell is expected to be one of the NBA's 2021 draft picks. Josh Christopher hasn't generated the level of buzz players like Cade, Mitchell, and Raekwon Gray have generated, but Christopher has an impeccable physical ability and overall explosiveness as well, which naturally makes him a beautiful choice for whatever team scoops him up. In addition to this, the player has an incredible burst and the ability to create sharply from all 3 levels. In fact, he shot 44% from the 3 in his last 7 games. The NBA 2021 draft is bound to be exciting. Do you think somebody else will push Cade Cunningham off the #1 spot? Tell us about it in the comments section. Also, don't forget to share this video and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. We are Courtside.